guys, it's Ali, and welcome to the first of the December writing vlogs. I documented my whole NaNoWriMo experience last month, if you were not aware, and I told you guys at the end of those NaNoWriMo vlogs that since I wasn't actually done with my manuscript in the month of November, I was going to be continuing making these writing vlogs into December because they help keep me accountable and you guys seem to enjoy them, so they will be continuing in December. However, I did take a week off of anything booktube and authortube related just because I wanted to take some time to do the other things that I wanted to do that I didn't have a ton of time for during November. Other than that, I have just been staying away from my current story. I've even had a couple more ideas for stories in this past week that I have since jotted down and I'm really excited about. Even something that I think might become my next project after this one, depending on where my thoughts and feelings go. But that is what's been going on this past week, and I have been doing very little writing. I have done a tiny bit, but I have not done any more chronological work since I finished NaNoWriMo. So we are starting exactly where we left off, even though it has been a week. And I'm going to take you through the rest of my day. Today is a Tuesday, which means that I have dance today. It is my last day with my current dancers. So we are going to go make some coffee now, and then I'm going to come back here, probably actually sit on the couch. I'm on the floor right now, so you guys can see my pretty Christmas tree. And then we are going to get into writing for the day. Alright, so I've got my coffee, I've got Ginny here with me, and we are just going to go ahead and get started writing because it is already like 11:30. I am trying to just get 1,000 words today, which is part of the reason why I'm not super stressed, because even if I don't quite get 1,000 words, it's not the end of the world. This is no longer NaNoWriMo, so I'm not pressuring myself to get a ton of words, like 3,000 words in on one day or anything like that, like I was doing for the past few days of NaNoWriMo. While NaNoWriMo did give me the confidence to know that I can do that with only minor difficulty, I am not trying to push myself that hard today. I'm just trying to progress a little bit in the story. So that is going to be my goal. I'm going to do a 10-minute sprint to get the ball rolling and try to progress a little bit in the story, and we shall see. I need to kind of reconnect with where I'm at in the story, because even though I am super excited to write the next part, I still don't remember anything that I wrote on that last day of NaNoWriMo aside from the last line that I wrote. So I'm going to go double check what I wrote and make sure that I have the idea correctly lined up in my head of where I'm going from here. So I am going to go do that, and I will check back in with you after. So the warm-up is over. I ended up not working chronologically. Whoops, my bad. I had a thought that came from listening to a lyric in one of my character playlists songs, and it made me want to write something jigsaw related for the beginning of the book. So I went into my jigsaw and wrote a little bit of that. So I got just shy of 100 words in those 10 minutes because I initially was just looking at where I'm coming in chronologically, and then that line in that song kind of just made me want to jump back in time a bit and do some little tweaking in the beginning. So still haven't moved forward at all in the story, which is not a great sign. Now I'm going to jump into a 20-minute sprint. I might do 25 if I'm starting to vibe with it, and I am going to try to actually write chronologically this time. So I am going to go ahead and do that, and then I will check back in with you after that. So I did go a little bit chronologically. I started writing chronologically, and then it made me think of something I could jigsaw, so I popped into the jigsaw, popped back in, and as I was moving around those jigsaw pieces, I realized that way back at the beginning of my very first sprint, my warm-up sprint, I was moving around some chapters and some paragraphs because the last day of NaNoWriMo, or the last couple days of NaNoWriMo, I was working within one chapter within my NaNoWriMo document, and I thought to myself that, this thing is now almost 8,000 words in just one chapter, and I can very clearly see where this chapter could be split into 3 different chapters. And so I was cutting and pasting into new chapters so that I could have a better viewpoint of what the story looks like and how long it is and all of that stuff. And so I was doing some of that at the beginning, and I realized just now in the last 5 minutes of this sprint that I cut something intending to paste it somewhere, and then I failed to paste it. And then I continued to cut and paste other things, which means that that thing that I cut and essentially deleted is now gone. And that sucks because it was not a whole chapter's worth, thank the Lord, but it was 2 paragraphs that I don't remember really the content of. Like, I remember what was happening, but I don't remember all of the kind of little nitty-gritty details of those 2 paragraphs. I just have a very vague recollection of what the point of them was, like what was happening in those paragraphs. So that's a huge bummer, and I realized that just in the last 5 minutes of doing this sprint just now. So that's unfortunate, but it had to happen sometime, and I guess it's better that I lost something by my own fault, and also I didn't lose anything that was absolutely, monumental or huge in the story. It was just a couple paragraphs. So that is what I'm going to work on now, is to try to bridge those pieces back together now that I've lost the jigsaw piece that was initially going to bridge that together. And then we are going to just continue on writing. I am now at 464 words for the day, which includes the little 100 words that I got before, and also includes the fact that I went a little bit longer than the 20 minutes that I was planning on going in this past sprint. So I am going to do another, let's call it a 15-minute sprint, just to get me straight up to 1 o'clock, because it is 12:43 now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will check back in with you afterwards. So I ended up going a little bit longer that time again. I did about 30 minutes, maybe closer to 35, but what can you do? And I ended up getting 540-ish words, somewhere around there, give or take a few, in that previous sprint. So I am pretty much done for the day, actually, as far as my personal goal for writing today goes. I wanted to get 1,000 words done. I've already gotten 1,000 words and some change. So I am going to do one more kind of cool down sprint, flesh out some of the stuff that I just wrote and add on a little bit more, try to get into the middle of the scene to the point where I'm excited to continue working on it tomorrow and the next day and so on and so forth. So I'm going to basically set up the scene for future Allie to take the reins and take it forward. And then I'm going to go ahead and be done with writing this story for the day, because I can force myself to write more, I'm more concerned with making sure that I set up the scene so that tomorrow I can feel just as excited about writing as I felt today, and then do the same the next day and the next day and the next day. So I am going to go ahead and get into that little cool down sprint for about 15 minutes, wrap this up for the day, and then I will check back in with you one more time for a little sign off. I am done. In that 15 minutes, I got another 260-ish words, which means that I have roughly 1,300, a little bit more, a little bit less, words for today. I'm going to take that as a win, because my initial goal for today was only 1,000 words, and I'm just kind of going to leave it there. I did do exactly what I said I was going to do. I just added some words and added some dialogue to bring the scene up to a head, so that tomorrow when I start writing, I'm starting kind of at the climax of one scene and then working my way out from that, rather than trying to start a new scene from scratch in my next day's worth of writing. So I am probably going to write a couple more words, just a couple more pieces of dialogue to get to that point perfectly. But as far as today's video is concerned, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to do another 5-minute sprint just to get to that point. I'll probably just throw those words in while I'm eating lunch. And that's going to be pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I'm glad that you seem to be enjoying the writing vlogs, and I hope that even though NaNoWriMo is over, you will stick around with me and we can finish this book together. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you like my content, do subscribe. I make videos every Friday, and I make writing vlogs on Wednesday, usually. We're gonna see the schedule. So that is going to be it, and thank you again for watching. I say this like 10 times per video, but thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.